Well, today we're in the shop and we're going to take another look at the 1970 Coronet 500 here. And this is going to act kind of as a for sale ad. This will be one of a few videos I'm going to do on a few cars that we have that we're currently looking to sell. Quick little background info. Purchased this car from Montana, spent basically its entire life in Montana, very solid car. 318 automatic, originally column shift, now has a 4-shift aftermarket setup in it. It runs great. Turn the key, starts right up. It's got a brand new, reproduction carburetor, 318 2-barrel, just 2-barrel carburetor. 8 1/4 rear end. The front brakes work great. The back brakes are blocked off because there was a line that got broke in, in transporting the car, and I just haven't fixed it. So there's a clamp on the rear hose that goes to the rear brake lines. So that's the only major thing that needs to be fixed. Other than that, a few things need to be put back together, and the grills are missing and a couple little pieces here and there. But also, for anybody watching this, right as it comes out or very close to when it comes out, this car will be for sale at Mopars in the Park 2025, and it will be there as well as potentially a 68 Coronet and a 69 Coronet and possibly a 69 Roadrunner. We'll see what happens. But like I said, this is going to be one of many videos I'm going to do over the next few days of posting cars for sale. Not for really any particular reason other than, I get them in, work on them, do some stuff, pass them on to somebody else. And that's just how it is, Sometimes we like to dive in them and really go all the way. Sometimes it's, get them, do a couple things, clean them up, and away they go. So that might be how this goes. So I'll show you guys in depth a bunch of different stuff about this car. First of all, as I said, 318 2-barrel, little tiny 19-inch radiator. Everything seems to be good. There's no leaks except for the radiator has one. You leave it overnight and it puts one little drip. So, maybe in the future it might need a radiator, but for right now, I could sit in it, turn the key, and it'll sit here idling all day. And the temperature gauge will just sit where it's supposed to. This fender, we body worked, roughed in, needs a lot of work still, but it's pretty straight, pretty good overall. It needs some work for sure it needs some work, but it's pretty good looking as it is. Before it was in like a white primer and it was all beat up and it just didn't match the car really. The black kind of blends in with the dark green a little better. So, but yeah, here's that VIN number for you guys, WP23, which means Coronet 500 hardtop, which I believe all Coronet 500s were hardtops. In here, nothing special. Some of the dash is still in it. Some of the dash is sitting over there. There's the seat track and frame for the other seat. There's the aftermarket shifter. The temperature gauge works. The gas gauge is kind of comes and goes, it seems. The lights mostly work. The horn does not work. I found that out the other day. Again, who cares? But just so you know. Doors closed nice. The gaps are pretty decent. In the back, it's got Coronet and Super B style taillights because the 500 taillights and trim panel were taken from the car a while back. But I will be dealing with a guy at Mopars in the Park that potentially has the correct setup for the car. So we'll see if I get that or not. If I get that, that'll be potentially included in the sale of the car if we get that far. So black mark from the tire, runs good. 318s can do burnouts apparently. But yeah, down here, quarter panel, really nice. Above the wheel well, a little bit going on there, but up front, pretty solid. Does have the clips for the rocker moldings, but yeah, this paint shines up pretty good, looks pretty good. Overall, it's just a nice car. Looks solid around the back window. Doesn't look like there's any big issues there. The trunk, I'll get that open in a few minutes, but The trunk is pretty solid, couple little things, but quarter panels here, a little bit of rust in the bottom here, and again, the wheel arch on this car is kind of the common issue on this particular one. So we'll see how that goes. I'll grab the key out of here and we will take a look in the trunk quick. Has matching set of keys, probably original to be honest. So, first of all, the deck lid, it's got spoiler cutouts, really solid up in here. The only thing you feel is a little bit of the seam sealer cracking a little bit, but that just happens with age. There's no rust, there's no issues here at all. In the trunk, solid, hole here, and there's some holes up here. So it's got a couple issues, but overall it's pretty solid. I mean, you could, you know, if you were to drive this car, you could throw your groceries in the trunk if you want to. So that's up to you, I guess. But yeah, pretty solid overall. It has been repainted, but it is originally F8 green. I think the underside of this trunk lid is original paint. Yeah, based on that sticker being there still, I'd say original paint. So not a bad color overall, better than some of the other greens. But yeah, even the little trunk seal is still good. And how many times you open a Mopar trunk lid and they make a ton of, you know, crashing and banging sounds opening and closing them. Yeah, watch this. This one's nice. So anyways, yep, so I'll pull the keys off here and we will set you guys up back here. I'm gonna open this door. And sneak peek, there's another car that'll be in a for sale ad video, and that one will probably be in a for sale ad video. So stay tuned for those. Those are next. So anyways, I'll set you guys up here, hook the battery up, and you know, start it up. You guys can hear what it sounds like. So here we go. So that's how it sounds like on initial startup, and that was sitting, you know, overnight. Had to crank on it a little bit, but you know, not bad. You know, not bad for, you know, sitting overnight. You know, you got to crank it over a few times just to get the gas back up to the carb. So not bad. The carburetor that's on it is pretty good. I've not screwed with any of the adjustments on it, so you know, a couple little stumbles there, but it was cold and not warmed up and all that stuff. So it sounds pretty good. Full dual exhaust, pretty nice car. So I know a lot of you are asking, great, how much? So we're looking plus or minus, you know, a little, depends on like if I get that tail panel and if I end up doing anything else to the car. Probably in the asking price of 19 or best offer. I do have a title. It does, you know, run and drive under its own power. I have not taken it on the street or tested the transmission out very much, but you know, it does move under its own power. The only reason I haven't is because, you know, obviously it doesn't have tags on it. because it's been, you know, off-road for a little while. And the rear brakes, I just haven't fixed them yet. So that's where we're at. 19 or best offer. It's in Minnesota. So it's, you know, I think it's a really good car. It needs a little work. This is a great car for somebody that, you know, can tinker with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, can throw a few parts on it here and there, and, you know, maybe they want to build a big block for it, but they want, you know, something nice to drive for a while. But also, I'll show you some other parts that do go with, and, you know, I should have probably started out with that a little bit more, but these are the other associated parts, mostly just interior trim, seat belts, visors, A-pillars, armrests. There's an extra bumper bracket. There's, you know, a bunch of nuts and bolts and a little dash trim and all kinds of stuff. The only thing I know I'm missing off of that car specifically is the grills and maybe a couple little pieces of interior trim. But other than that, it should all be there and it should all be pretty much right. So that's what I got. That's the first of a few that'll be going on the kind of for sale ad segment I'm going to be doing for the next few days. So let me know what you guys think. My email's in the description of the video if you need to reach out. Definitely consider, you know, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate all you guys watching. Let me know what you would do with this car if you owned it, and I will see you guys in the next video.